Hi, fourth graders, it's Miss Whelan. This is your vocabulary reader for lesson 23, and it's called Forever Green, and it's written by Carol A. Greenhall, which is a very appropriate last name for this book. Here's our table of contents, and it has 5 different parts and a glossary. How come the leaves drop off some trees in the fall, but other trees keep their leaves all winter? This is because there are actually two different kinds of trees. Those that shed their leaves in the fall are called deciduous. Those that don't shed their leaves are called evergreen because they always stay green. Some evergreen trees can keep their leaves for up to 45 years. This photo shows both deciduous and evergreen trees. Can you spot the evergreens? They're the green ones. All about evergreens. Evergreens are found in many different places. Over time, evergreens shed some leaves, but they are always growing new ones at the same time. You may have noticed that the leaves on some evergreen trees are shaped like needles. That is why these kinds of trees are also called needle leaf evergreens. A blue spruce is a popular evergreen, like for Christmas trees. Some types of evergreens: firs, spruces, pines, hemlocks, redwoods. Some types of evergreen trees have shallow roots. As a result, many of these evergreens prefer to grow in soil that has a lot of moisture in it so that it is easy for the roots to find water. Needle leaf evergreens that produce seeds in cones are also known as conifers. You have probably seen these cones on trees and on the ground. Each type of conifer makes a different shaped cone. Dry weather. Dry weather makes the water in the air evaporate. This may cause some of the needles to become dry and fall off an evergreen tree. Many important parts. All evergreens share the same basic tree parts. The trunk and branches support the tree. They are covered by bark, which protects the trees from the heat, the cold, insects, and more. The water and nutrients from the roots flow through the trunk and branches to the leaves. Then, with sunlight, the leaves are able to make food for the tree. This evergreen tree has needle-like leaves. The branches and leaves together are called the crown. We have all the parts there. The crown, where all the leaves are, the leaves individually, the trunk, and the roots. Examples of evergreens. Evergreen trees come in all shapes and sizes. Two giant evergreens are the coast redwood and the sequoia, both of which are found only in California. The coast redwood is considered the tallest tree in the world, and the sequoia is the largest all-around tree in the world. Although the sequoia isn't as tall as the coast redwood, it can sometimes grow to be as wide as 30 feet. Coast redwoods can be more than 350 feet tall. That's taller than a 30-story building. Diagram of tree heights. Here's tree heights, 3 to 6 feet tall. Kind of like human size is a Bollinger pine in pygmy forest. Here's a Bollinger pine in a redwood forest at 150 feet tall, and here is a coast redwood tree about 350 feet tall. This diagram shows the difference between a coast redwood and normal and dwarf-sized Bollinger pine trees. Sometimes there are giant and dwarf versions of the same kind of tree. For example, the Bollinger pine is usually about 150 feet tall. However, Bollinger pines in the pygmy forest along the California coast grow to be only 3 to 6 feet tall. How high they grow depends on the makeup of the soil. Interesting. Great Basin bristlecone pines are another interesting evergreen. They grow in harsh conditions that include cold temperatures and high winds. Rather than grow with other trees in dense groves or groups, these trees are more independent and often grow alone on rocks and other rough areas. They can also live for a very long time. One bristlecone pine was found to be 4,900 years old. Wow! Benefits of evergreens. Besides being beautiful, evergreens can be very useful. Chickadees and other birds pick insects from the branches. Small animals use the lowest branches to hide from their enemies, and porcupines eat evergreen bark. Squirrels store the seeds from a conifer's cones to eat in the winter. Snakes live in the needles and cones that collect on the ground. Some birds perch on the top of branches of evergreens to look for their next meal. An early snowstorm will snap the branches off many deciduous trees, but most evergreens stand up to the snow. The branches just bow down and the snow piles up on top of them, making cozy little spaces that protect wildlife during the winter. Have you seen that happen here during snow? Under the snow, many creatures are enjoying the protection and food of these needle-leaf evergreens. The wood from many evergreen trees can be made into a lot of different things. Evergreens help people as well as animals. For centuries, one of the customs of peoples has been to escape from the hot summer sun and relax in the shade. Throughout history, civilized people also have used the wood from types of evergreens to make paper, cabinets, and even matches. Evergreen trees are one of our most important natural resources. Evergreens all over. More than 20,000 types of trees grow on every continent except Antarctica. Among them, there are more than 500 types of conifers alone. The United States is home to many types of evergreens, so you may have opportunities to see and enjoy the fascinating evergreen family. Here are some of the types of evergreens, and it shows where they live. We do have a lot of evergreens here in Washington, even though the map says that we don't have the specific types that are listed here. Here's your glossary. A conifer is a type of tree that stores its seeds in cones. Conifer cone. Like a pine cone. It's from a pine tree. Crown is the branches and leaves of a tree. You might want to go outside and see if you can identify the crown of a tree around you. Deciduous, a type of tree that loses its leaves in the fall. Needle leaf, another name for trees whose leaves look like needles. And pygmy, usually small in size, like a pygmy hippo is a little tiny hippo. And then feel free to do the write about or read through your target vocabulary skills there. That is the end of your read aloud here.